Hey guys, what's up? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another Action Adrenaline Month. And boy, do I have a good movie to review for today. And yes, I did finally see digitally the 2021 version of Mortal Kombat. Wow. Wow, this was worth the 26 years wait compared to the first movie. But there were problems in the movie. It was not perfect. I will say this right now, it was not perfect. But was it better than the last live action movie? Oh, hell yeah, it was. Because they did a lot of things right with this one. A lot of fan service. A lot of the characters from the game are mostly sound. And the effects are way better here than in the Annihilation movie and even in the first movie. Uh, let's get to the cons first because I want to get that out of the way. I usually do this, and plus it's a movie from 2021, so I gotta say that there were two characters I didn't care for in this movie. Kano, played by Josh Lawson, annoyed the shit out of me. Fuck that character. I didn't like him in this movie. Even his death in the movie is lame. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to spoil too much in the movie because there's some people that haven't seen it yet. But screw Kano in this movie. I hated him. Every time he opens his mouth, he either says something racist, sexist, or something disgusting. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I never saw him. You know what the actor looks like? He looks like an Australian Donald Logue, and he's horrible. It's like, oh, mate, shove the things up your ass. I'm like, fuck you. Okay, the only reason you're in this movie is because the original Kano had an accent, and it was filmed in South Australia. And also Sonya Blade, didn't care about her either. I will rather take Bridget Wilson from the first movie from 1995. At least she's American. She doesn't have a slippy accent. She actually has more screen presence. And this girl, she's not sexy. She looks like if you took Virginia Madsen, Margot Robbie, and freaking Charlize Theron, put them in a blender, and you get this lame ass version of Sonya Blade. She looks like the character. She can't act like the character, though. I'm sorry. Her accent slips every time she talks. She says, I'm in here and I'm there and I'm this. I'm like, yeah, you can't fool me, okay? I knew the cast was going to be foreign from the beginning, but the foreigners they got to play the real characters in the movie, like Sub Zero and Scorpion and freaking Raiden, yeah, those characters freaking worked. But no, what's his name? The guy that played Kano, he was awful. Like he's just god awful. What's his name? Josh Lawson. Let me see what we. I never even heard of this guy. Plus, in this version, Kano doesn't have the plate on his face. Remember in the first movie, he had the plate and the red eye, like in the game. He doesn't have it here. It's just some dumbass mate with freaking facial hair. He looks like a GI Joe villain. Doesn't look anything like Kano in the game. Definitely, they did him wrong. I mean, this is the actor what he looks like. Some pretty boy. Awful, awful freaking version. He's in House of Lies. Yeah, mate. I hope you never get work again after you did this movie because you're awful. You can't act. You half of the curse words are from this idiot. Makad Brooks as Jax. He works fine. I like his metal arms. He gets a cool death at the fight scene. Fatality at the end against the guy with the hammer. I don't really know who he is. Raiko. I never heard of him. But yeah, like I said, I want to be put more positive because, like I said, Kano didn't ruin the movie for me. He shouldn't act again, though. Who's the girl that played Sonya? Jessica McNamee. Yeah, you can't act, okay? Please don't put her in the MCU. I'm begging you, Marvel. Don't do it. Don't make her the Invisible Woman because she has no screen presence. I know, Josh, you're going to jerk off to her. You love foreign girls. Hear me out. I don't like this actress. I don't know who she is. I don't like her accent slipping out because she can't speak English right in this movie. And yeah, I'm sorry. A mix of Charlize Theron and Margot Robbie and freaking Virginia Madsen is not a good mix. And I never heard of her. And I'm like, yeah, what else has she been in? A bunch of movies I never heard of. The Vow, but she's not a main character. Chips, a shitty remake. Battle of the Sexes, The Neighbor, The Meg. I don't even remember her from The Meg. That's how memorable she was. I remember Statham and the Asian girl, and even Ruby Rose, who can't act either. Keep her away from me, please. Okay, the rest of the cast. Let's get to the rest of the good cast. Uh, freaking Tananobu Asano as Raiden was freaking awesome. He looked the part. He wasn't white like Christopher Lambert was. He was good in the first one, but in the second one they replaced him with James Remar. That didn't work. He had the look, he had the presence, he had the accent, and he had the freaking electrical powers. I would have wanted to see him do more because he's basically the older. immortal that pretty much gets one person from point A to point B. But he was still awesome. Ludi Lin as Liu Kang was freaking awesome. He comes about 40 minutes into the movie, so don't expect him in the first 5 minutes. He takes a while to kind of get into the movie, but it's worth it. Max Huang as Kung Lao, badass. He has the best death scene in the movie. He does something with his hat that you got to see the movie to see what I'm talking about. He's got the coolest death scene. The scene that he does. Who else is in the movie? You had uh, Angus Sampson as the voice of Goro. Goro looked pretty cool in this movie. He's more CG than the puppet that they used in the 1995 movie. They both look good, both the 95 version and here. The blood, oh my god, there's so much blood and violence in the movie. It's exactly what it needed after the Annihilation and the first one, movie from 95 were not as violent. And they nailed it. That freaking nailed it. But like I said, the one thing that the original movie did better was that they had a better Sonya and they had a better Kano because they didn't get on my nerves. And they'd have accents that got on my damn nerves. The original Kano had an accent, but he had the better look. And that actor passed away. Rest in peace, sir. You were a better Kano than this schmuck face from Down Under. Yeah, suck my asshole, dude. Yeah, he's awful. Sub Zero steals a lot of the movie. Every single time he's on screen, he's a presence. He freezes things like Elsa. He kills people. Hell, in the beginning, you see him fighting, Scorpion in the beginning. It's basically an origin story. It's a little slow. They have, Scorpion loses his family, etc. And, Sub Zero gets his scar on his face. That's why he covers himself in a mask. Nathan Jones was Reiko? I didn't know. I didn't know that was him. Cabal was freaking awesome, by the way. He had a cool voice. He could run fast. He looked like the Predator, and he had some presence to him. He wasn't an annoying crap that was talking too much. Kano talks too much, too much. Like he has more dialogue than freaking Antonio Banderas in Expendables 3. Who else I didn't mention? Chin Han as Shang Tsung was good. I still also enjoy Hiroyuki. What was his name? The original Shang Tsung actor. What was his name? Haruki Tagawa. Yeah, I also like him. Cary Haruki Tagawa. But they both did well, so I can't say anything bad about him. The family, the Emily and Allison, the girls that are with the main guy Louis Tan as Cole Young. He's up from England. Yeah, he's the guy. He was in Deadpool too. He was okay. Didn't hate him, but I thought he was Liu Kang. He's not. He's basically a character that has like a metal body. And I'm like, I could take him or leave him. I don't think he's a great lead, but hey, maybe the next movie will have Johnny Cage. There is a reference to him, but I'm not going to say when. There's a lot of Easter eggs from the game, but you have to see the movie for yourself. Was it worth seeing? Hell yeah. It was worth waiting 26 years. I'm an adult now, so yeah. Of course, Rotten Tomatoes didn't love it, but again, it's a movie that doesn't have much of a plot. It's a tournament that people have to fight each other and kill each other. That's not going to be the deepest plot. It says viewers interested. Wait, it says the census is large for fans of the source material. I did play some of the games, but far from fatally flawed. Mortal Kombat revives the franchise in an appropriately violent fashion. It does. If you want the gore and the blood that was missing in the other films, this is it. But if you want deep character development, some of the characters are not here. The girl that played Melina was okay. She was there. She had a cool look. Who was it? Natara, I never even heard of her. The girl with the wings, I never heard of her in the game. So maybe she's in one of the later games. CC Stringer was Melina. I thought she was actually better than Sonya because she has less to say and she lets her fighting do the talking. She even kicked Sonya's ass in one of the first fights. I just thought this actress didn't earn it. You could have cast Emily freaking Erin Moriarty would have been a better Sonya Blade. At least she doesn't have an accent. Yeah, kiss my ass, mate. Kiss my arse. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of Hollywood casting people that are foreign that can't hold an American accent. Just stop. Stop for the love of God. Stop. With the Asians, I can give them a break. They had a hard year. This is their franchise. I get it. But with the white people in this movie, screw them. Okay? Screw them. Both of them. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, the music was awesome. They have the music at the end. A lot of the fatalities from the game, a lot of fan service from the game. And it's basically a B movie with a big budget. That's what the first movie was. That's what the animated movie was last year. It is. It's not deep. It's in my favorites of the year, but it'll be number 8. It won't be in my top 5. I think Shang-Chi is going to be better. You don't have these foreign people from Australia that are white, and you don't have annoying freaking characters that don't shut up. And even though that won't be R rated, it's still going to have a better plot. Just saying, because it's a Marvel movie. But this was awesome, though. For the fights, the gore, and some of the characterizations of the guys, it was worth your a watch. It's not perfect. I prefer the Sonic the Hedgehog movie because I played Sonic more. Just saying. And here's the one. It says the head-to-head fight tends to be what it gets drowned out by the digital effects. It says appreciate the comedy and the over-the-top geysers of fake blood, which the film unleashes with increasingly regularity as the fights get more serious. Yeah, but Sonya's fight in the original movie was better than Sonya's fight here with Kano. It's lame. It ends in not even a fatality. She doesn't even put her legs around him and break his neck like in the original movie. Here, uh, yeah, it's lame. I've seen better death scenes in Marvel and DC movies. But anyway, if you want to see this in theaters, go ahead. But I have the bias. I didn't like the two. I didn't like Kano and Sonya. They sucked. I think that they were done better in the 1995 movie. Yeah, come at me, but I don't care. You want to jerk off to her, guys? That's fine with me. I won't. I like my women American or Canadian or Asian. There's no Asian women in this movie, other than the Japanese woman in the beginning. There's no Asian women in this. This Ludi Lin guy, is this the guy from Power Rangers? Yeah. He was really good. I really liked him here more than in Power Rangers because he looked like Liu Kang. He respected Robin Shaw's performance in the original, and he did his own thing. There's also some scenes where he looks like Ryu from Street Fighter. He would be a great Ryu in Street Fighter as well because he has the look. Or get someone like him. But like I said, the director Simon McQuad, he did fine. This is his first movie, so I'm gonna cut him some slack. James Wan produced it. He did Aquaman, so he did a good job. But the dialogue, it was painful. Like every time Kano talks, I'm like, shut the fuck up already, dude. We get it. You're Australian and you're pissed off, and the way you die is a freaking cop out. Let me see what this guy wrote. Oh, of course, that's why the dialogue was so terrible with Dick Kano. He wrote the screenplay for Doom. Yeah, this story worked. Your dialogue sucks, David Callahan. Stop writing dialogue because you can't do it. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You're not the Russos. You're not Joss Whedon. You're not even Zack Snyder. Okay. He also wrote The Expendables. The first one was the only good one with the writing. The second one had its problems. Three, he did not write. But so he also was the production rewrite for Ant-Man, Godzilla. He also wrote the screenplay for Wonder Woman 84. This movie is better than that. It's shorter. It's only 99 minutes. You're going to get through it quick. It's not 2 hours. Thank God. Because I couldn't take another second of Sonya. He's also writing Shang-Chi. You better do better, Callahan. You write shitty dialogue in that movie, and I will come after you and karate kick you in the face. And he's also writing the untitled Spider-Man movie. If it's like this, but with no Australian chicks, I'll live. Okay? Because I know Tom Holland is British, but he's a good Spider-Man. I care about his story. But here in this movie, like Kano's dialogue is horrible. It's a lot of sexual innuendos and f bombs. Just because it's an R rating, I get it, Callahan. I get it. This is not the PG-13 movie from the '90s. I get it. All right, but you're not going to top the dialogue that Quentin Tarantino writes. He writes and he wins an Oscar for it. Your movie's not going to win any Oscars. Not even for the visuals. And the visuals were way better in this movie than in the '95 movie. Definitely. It was not dated CGI. But like I said, the movie's good, but it has some issues. Just in my opinion. But it's a good movie. If you want to watch it on HBO Max, that's the way to watch it. In the theater, I would pay a matinee. I would not go see full price and see this in IMAX. No, because Sonya's not worth my time. She's the only woman in the main fighters, and you cast her wrong, just like you did in Pirates of the Caribbean and The Force Awakens. Hmm. Oh, trust me, she's not as bad as that hobo. She's the eater of worlds. She ruins everything she's in. But this girl, she's not a good Sonya. Bridget Wilson got to be. She's the GOAT of Mortal Kombat live action when it comes to Sonya Blade. You couldn't wipe her ass. Whatever your name is, Makomi. Yeah, you're not a good actress. Please don't do the sequel. Recast. I would rather do that. Just saying. But anyway, overall the movie was good. Really good. Just could have done. You could have trimmed some of the dialogue, and Kano recast him. Or well, he's not coming back, but and Sonya just recast her because you don't get a dialogue coach for these people, and they say words weird, and it just comes out awful. It's just like Margot Robbie. Yeah, because that's what I wanted after Suicide Squad. More Australian chicks that can't act. The best one is Mia Wasikowska because she's pale, gorgeous, and she can act. But anyway, the 2020 Mortal Kombat movie was good. Not flawless, but it was a victory in itself for the fans of the game and for us that we wanted to. I wanted the gore and the violence, and I got that in abundance more than these freaking Aussies that I don't care about. No offense. If Liam sees this on Facebook, please. This is not something personal. I don't date women that have accents. Just not for me. It's not for me because it insults my culture since I'm actually American born and raised here. And my ancestry is from America too. So thanks for watching. Take care. And screw Kano and Sonya in the face. I hope that I never see them again. Don't put them in the MCU. Please, Marvel, don't do it. DC, don't do it. I'm begging you. I don't need any more foreigners. I have enough in my life. Trust me. See ya.